life is tough, but here's how it goes. Because I'm so conscious and understanding of enlightenment, my kids who are at such a lower level of consciousness and understanding and just being able to conceive what's going on around us, and people in general are so uncommon to understanding what's really going on around us, that when I talk about it from the which we all are, that is even the person I'm talking to that doesn't believe me or doesn't understand me, if they listen to me long enough, they'd know that I'm coming from the source that we are, not just Dan. But if they listen long enough, I could explain more, but it's like doing it in regular time is so hard to do because it takes me out of it to be able to be Dan, if that makes sense. It does. So with my kids, they're not ready for the knowledge that I have for them. They have to experience what they're doing, and they're getting it all out right now at young ages. They're getting it all out right now. Think about it. That's the kids now are doing it so fast because everything is sped up. Time is speeding up, and even effects of time, things that would have taken us. We didn't learn about that till we were 20. Well, kids are doing it now at 10. And even earlier, you know what I mean? Because time is speeding up. That's one way that it's showing. So I have to understand that my kids aren't ready to understand what I have to teach them or to show them or for them to understand. So I have to start with older, more understanding, conscious, caring, compassionate people. And through their attention on me, the younger generation will be like, oh, these people do make sense. And they have to start looking, and you have to start appealing to them in their ways. That's why I have to do certain kinds of music or certain kinds of skits and certain kinds of things to appeal to them, to open them up, but keep my integrity and keep my theme, or at least whatever that would be, my wholeness to it. Always come from love. So no matter what I do, really, I could be vulgar and violent, but always at least mention that I'm doing it for educational purposes, not experiential purposes, because we don't have to be gangsters and kill each other anymore to understand and learn from what happened before. We don't have to have wars and battles anymore to understand that we've done it, and we can learn from it and prevent it now by finding better ways to resolve problems. And then that may sound stupid, but instead of pulling out weapons and battling it out, why wouldn't talking it out, no matter who we are and where we're from or how many millions of us disagree, why can't we do it without getting overly angry? Because every person can control if they get angry. Take that in consideration. A room of 1 million people. If all 1 million people could listen to me at the same time and hold their minds on the thought of not getting angry at no matter what they see or look at, and they forgive it, whether it's a homeless man, a rich man, a Chinese man, an alien, if all those people, beings, things could be there and understand that they can be in control of how they think, and they can put it towards a good cause instead of letting it run around going crazy. They can say, I am in control of me, the I am that I am. Not any backstory. The I am that I am. I can focus that. If all 7 billion people of us listened to this message and took it into actual consideration and realized that I can control whether I'm mad, whether I'm focused, whether I'm whatever, and I can say, I can't because my brain is so out of whack. Well, we can learn to work on that piece by piece and get you to a point where you can start focusing a little better. And I'm not coming from a place of being crazy. I know exactly what I'm saying. And I know that people will get this. It's just that they're not ready to be that dedicated or that determined or that, forceful on themselves, because they feel like the world is already doing that to them. So why would I be that strict on myself? Because the world is doing it in ways that only the world knows how, through us. And the collective us is what you believe it to be. And once you understand that, you have to see what's happening out in front of you and know that you change it by believing it to be better. And by believing it to be better and not feeding into the negative side of it, you can walk amongst it and not let the negative side of it, no matter how horrible it seems, feed into your anger, your guilt, your anything, your sadness. You look at it with love and say, this is how it's turned out from all the past stuff up to here. And we can only work on it from now. No matter what condition anything is in. You can't look at garbage and say, oh my God, I wish this garbage wasn't here. Well, pick the damn thing up. So Think of that as like, yourself and your emotions being hurt or wounded. Or think of a homeless man. You could help a homeless man, and you would be like, why would I do that? Because you see that, and that's a reflection of you in a bigger spectrum, the you that you are, that is you. And sometimes you may not have time to do it, but because that's why we're in this time space, to see what's really more important. Nothing is really more important. Like looking at a leaf is just as important as helping the world. But to levels of consciousness, and when we improve and evolve as a species, there's certain things that are going to matter more. But studying nature and learning about leaves is not a bad thing either. I'm just, using that as a big reference to a tiny reference, which in our spectrum of what matters and what doesn't matter, a leaf compared to saving the world would be a big spectrum to a tiny spectrum. You know what I'm saying? So what we need to do is take a room full of people and have them just listen and say, I am in control of my anger. I am in control of how I feel. I'm in control of exactly what I want. I can now focus. I can now focus. There is nothing in my way anymore. I can now focus. I can do exactly what I want when I focus my mind. I have no more problems with focus. I am in control of my own mind. I decide how I feel. I have focus.